Hello, this is Mr. Dickinson with Music Theory, and this is lesson number 3, and this is going to be on notes and rests values. This is the easiest way I know how to teach this. I like to do it through a pyramid. Okay, so I'm going to first draw what I call the note pyramid. Here it is, and you can practice drawing this on your own. It will help you, I swear. And at the top, we're going to draw one single whole note, and we've seen this a lot already in what we've been doing. And I'm going to put that by itself right up here at the top. And then after that, I'm going to cut this pyramid in half, and I'm going to do the next area, and I'm going to copy that down, copy, and I'm going to add one thing to it. I'm going to add a stem. So now we have 2 notes with stems. I'm going to copy that down again and double it again. Same way, copy. And then I have to change one thing. So the one thing I'm changing is I'm going to fill in the note head. Filling in. Finally, I'm going to double that one more time. One more again. And I would copy that again, like so, across. Pretend that I just did that all the way through. And I have to change one more thing, which is adding a flag to the stem. Now, every time we go down in the pyramid, the number of beats that this type of note receives is cut in half, just like the pyramid is cut in half. At the top, this receives 4 counts. Each of these receive 2. So 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? Each of these, therefore, receive 1, because we're going to end up at 4 for each row. And then finally, since we have 8 notes on the bottom, and we have to end up at 4, they are each worth a half a count, or a half a beat, however you want to think about that. So top row worth 4 counts, each of these are worth 2, each of these are worth 1, each of these are worth 1 half. The names of these I'll write on the other side, and that's going to be whole, half, quarter, and eighth. That is the note pyramid. Now, to do the same thing with rests, everything here stays the same as far as what they're called. The counts stay the same. It's just the shape of what you're putting in each box changes, instead of to be a note, to be the equivalent rest. So for the whole rest, it is an upside down hat that you fill in. The half rest is a right side up hat that you fill in. The quarter rest is a diagonal line and 2 lightning bolts. So up to the left and then down to the left. Eventually you can do a little squiggle, but for now we want to try to do a better looking rest just to practice it. And then finally an 8th rest is a little ball, and you make a number 7. Notice how both lines on that are curved. And that is it for notes and rests. All right, for your first worksheet, which is called Note and Rest Values, you are just learning this information up here. We've practiced drawing these type of notes, and we've practiced drawing these type of rests. All that's new, there's something called a dotted half note, which is a half note with a little dot after it. See that? And there are a pair of 8th notes. So instead of just a note with a stem and a flag, you get 2 notes that have a stem and what's called a beam, like a balance beam. You can think of it that way. Okay. Since an 8th note gets half a count, a pair of 8th notes gets 1 count because there's 2 of them. That's the only thing that's different. The questions you'll be asked is you're filling in the blanks using the table above. So, I mean, it literally just gives you a shape, asks you what kind of rest that is, and you find it. There it is, and you put in the number, no, not the counts, you put in what type of rest. It's called a whole rest, so I'd write whole. That's all it is. This is easy. You should be able to get all of these top 15 questions no problem just by looking at your table at the top. Okay. After that, you're doing math. Yay! So you have to know how many counts each of these are worth and then put in the number. It does give you what they're equal to, so you can see if you're right. So for this first one, if you're looking up at the top, you'll see that a half note is worth 2, a pair of eighth notes equals 1, half note is 2, quarter note is 1, a dotted half note is 3, and a quarter rest is 1. You add them up together, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom, that's right. So you just fill it out and make sure that it equals what it says afterward. That's that. That's easy. For your next sheet, which says notes and rests, you're doing some more math and getting better at drawing rests, which are typically harder than drawing notes, so it takes more practice. It gives you, once again, answers that you can check up here. But for this sheet, I want you to try to do it without looking and then check to see if you did it right. So start memorizing it for the test, okay? This sort of stuff will be on your quiz coming up shortly. All right, each measure in the next two exercises is missing one rest. Complete each measure by adding the appropriate rest. Okay, so we're going to add one rest. We have 3 quarter notes. We know that a quarter note is each worth 1 beat, and an entire measure is going to be worth 4 beats. Every measure will be worth 4 beats. That's all you need to know for this paper. So I'm missing one rest, and it needs to equal 1, 2, 3, just one count, so that I have 4 counts altogether. What type of rest is worth 1 beat or 1 count? It's the quarter rest, and so I draw in the quarter rest. For the next one, if I drew in 2 quarter rests, that'd be wrong because I can only draw 1 rest to complete the measure, 1 rest. And so I have 1, 2. I still have counts 3 and 4, so I need a rest that's equal to 2 beats. That's going to be that half note there. So I draw in a half note. Make sure that your stems are facing the right direction, okay? And so you keep doing that for number 1, A and B. Number 2, it's missing bar lines. So once again, every measure will have 4 counts. And so you're just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you put a bar line. Boop, and you keep doing that. Count to 4, put in a bar line. Number 3, some of the measures are missing a rest. So add the rest. Some of them are complete. This guy right here, that's a complete measure. 1, 2, 3, 4 counts. It's done. But if anything doesn't have 4 counts, then you need to add in the correct rest. I'm going to show you one for free because this quarter rest you want to put here because of spacing. If you look at these other guys, you always have kind of like equal spacing, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's a big space between those two. That's where the rest is supposed to be, so that it's spaced 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. For number 4, it's the same thing. You're just filling in more measures. So every measure should have 4 counts, and you're filling them in with rests. Remember, if there's an entire measure, then that's going to get what's called that whole rest. Okay, whole rest. There you go. Okay, Bob's your uncle.